Hello and welcome to this Fast Track ESL CELPIP listening mock test. It's important for candidates to test themselves with authentic sample tests that reflect the true nature of the real CELPIP exam. This free sample test you're about to take includes all 6 parts of the real CELPIP listening test. Each part has also been posted separately on this channel in case you want to practice one particular section of the listening test. To help you work on your time management skills, we have embedded the timing into the video. This means if you have 3 minutes to answer a set of questions, the time will be provided in the video itself and there's no need for you to pause the video. The questions and task types also reflect the real exam. This is important because some free sample tests do not necessarily follow the exact same question and task types as the real test. Please have a pen and paper ready to record your responses. You can then check your answers with an answer key. Leave your score in the comments section below and share your experience with other candidates. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tutorial lessons and free mock tests. Good luck.
Listening test instructions. The listening test is about 50 minutes. There are 6 parts in the listening test. You will have about 6 minutes to listen to each passage and answer the questions. The passage will be played once. Left-click on the mouse to select your answer.
Hey Cindy, you look happy. Making plans for the summer vacation?
I'm just glad the semester is finally over. I just finished my final exam, so I'm taking off for summer vacation tomorrow. Aren't you?
I wish.
What do you mean?
I have to rewrite the lab report for my biology class. I guess I did it all wrong, so the professor's making me rewrite it before he'll submit a final grade.
Question 1. Where is the conversation taking place? Question 2. Why is the woman happy? Question 3. How is the man feeling? Question 4. What is the professor asking the student to do?
I guess that's better than if he just gave you a bad grade on it, right?
I guess so. But I was planning on leaving town tomorrow too, and now I'm not sure I can. I spoke with the professor, and he gave me two options. I can either turn in the revised report in 1 week and get my grade, or he said I can wait. Take an incomplete in the class and submit the paper next semester in the fall.
So are you going to stay around to revise the report?
I could. I'd get the grade for the class on time, and I wouldn't have to think about it anymore. But there's a family reunion this weekend. I was really looking forward to it. If I stay around to revise the report, I'll miss the reunion.
Well, maybe you should take your time and work on the report over the summer. You can submit it when you return in the fall semester and get your grade then.
That'd be fine. But what if I need materials from the library to revise the report? I don't know if I'd be able to find the materials at the library at home.
Question 5. When was the man planning to leave town? Question 6. What would the man miss if he decides to revise the report? Question 7. What is the man's main concern about completing his lab report during the summer? Question 8. Which statement is true?
Listening to a daily life conversation. You will hear a conversation followed by 5 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Hi, can I help you?
I hope so.
My name's Mark Whitman. I'm.
Don't I remember you from last year? You worked in, where was it? The art library?
Yeah, well, you're good. That was me, and I really enjoyed the work.
Right. Yeah, your supervisor gave us some really great feedback at the end of the year. Oh, he's so organized, always on time, helpful.
Really? Well, I'm glad. It was a good job.
Well, we usually try to match students' jobs with their academic interests.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what career I'm headed for, but librarian is a possibility. It was a great experience to learn how it works and meet some people working in the field. But for this year, well, that's what I wanted to ask about.
Oh, how come you waited so long to come in? You know how fast campus jobs fill up. If you'd come in earlier, you could probably have gotten a library job again. I mean, since you have the experience from last year, you don't need the training and all. But it's been filled now.
Yeah, I know. But I'd planned to get a job working at a restaurant off campus this year. I really need to make more money than I did last year, and working as a waiter, there's always the tips. But I've tried a ton of places and I haven't found anything. I know it's really late, but well, I was wondering if maybe there was some job that hadn't been taken, or maybe someone started a job and had to drop it or something.
Well, I doubt you'll find
Well,
anything.
could you possibly check? I know it's a long shot, but my friend Suzanne, she takes photography classes in Harrison Hall, and she sort of thought there might be an opening in the janitorial staff.
Why does your friend, the photography student, think she has information about a janitorial staff opening? I'm pretty sure those jobs are filled. In fact, I remember taking lots of applications for them. Let me double check it online.
She said the whole studio arts building, and especially the photo lab, have been kind of, sort of messy lately. I mean, she says there's chemicals and stuff left out, and, it's like no one's been cleaning up. Oh, but that could just be, students using the lab after hours or something, like after it's been cleaned.
Hang on. There is an asterisk next to one of the job numbers here. There's a note. Let's see. Huh, your friend's right. Seems like one of the student janitors quit a couple of weeks ago for some reason. Well, whatever. It looks like this is your lucky day.
Wow, that is so great. So, who's the contact person?
Check with the janitorial office.
Fine. Thanks so much.
Question 1. Where did the student work in the previous year? Question 2. Why is the woman surprised when the student asks for an on-campus job? Question 3. What does the student say about his job last year? Question 4. Why does the student talk about his friend Suzanne. Question 5. What does the woman find out after checking the system?
Listening for information. You will hear a conversation followed by 6 questions. Listen to each question. You will hear the question only once. Choose the best answer to each question.
Okay, so we've been discussing how companies use advertising to help sell their products. Now, although advertisements can benefit companies, there are people who are critical of advertising because of certain environmental problems it can cause. So let's talk about 2 ways advertising can be seen to negatively affect the environment. One way is by wasting natural resources, like trees, by advertising to consumers who do not have a need for the product or service. The advertisement's irrelevant or useless for them. For instance, a piece of mail I got advertising a kitchen renovation service. A whole big booklet, lots of paper, about different ways to remodel your kitchen, changing the floors, adding new cupboards or appliances. But this was all a lot of wasted paper, wasted trees, because I don't even own my place. I rent an apartment. So a kitchen renovation service is irrelevant to me. I can't use it. And I'm sure that booklet was mailed to lots of other people who also rent and who just threw the booklet in the trash because they have no need for a kitchen renovation. Now, additionally, advertising can have a negative effect on the natural beauty of the environment. People are often less able to enjoy the beauty of the natural surroundings if there are large advertisements blocking their view of the landscape or distracting them from the natural beauty around them. Let's face it, no matter how beautiful an area of nature is to begin with, its beauty is damaged by visible advertisements. So, like, for example, this happens with big advertisements on the side of roads, huge billboards. Say there's a road passing through a beautiful area in the mountains, but there are all these big billboards advertising restaurants and products along the side of the road. The land is naturally very beautiful, but you can't fully appreciate it. The big billboard advertisements get in the way.
Question 1. What is the woman's field of study? Question 2. What does the woman say about the ways in which advertising wastes natural resources? Question 3. Why does the woman say that the kitchen renovation booklet she received in the mail was a waste? Question 4. What does the woman say about other people who also received the brochure? Question 5. According to the woman, when are people unable to enjoy the beauty of their natural surroundings? Question 6. According to the woman, what effects do billboards have on natural scenes such as a road going through the mountains?
Listening to a news item. You will hear a news item once. It is about 1.5 minutes long. Then 5 questions will appear. Choose the best way to complete each statement from the drop-down menu.
Binoculars are handy, whether you're birding, boating, or just sitting in the cheap seats. They can also be bulky, heavy, and a pain to carry around. But imagine if contact lenses could be made to magnify images and serve as tiny wearable binoculars. Swiss and US researchers are working on just such an optical prosthetic, with funding from the US Defense Department. The device is a very thin reflective telescope inside a rigid contact lens just 1.5 millimeters thick. When worn with a special pair of glasses, the effect is said to be like looking through a pair of low magnification binoculars. The lenses let you switch between normal vision and a view that's magnified nearly 3 times with the wink of an eye. The glasses help the contacts distinguish between intentional winks and involuntary blinks. The research team unveiled their latest prototype at the recent American Association for the Advancement of Science annual meeting. The technology could be worn on healthy eyes, which could mean checking certain baseball players' A-Rod to make sure they're not wearing a pair. But it's really designed to help the visually impaired, especially those with age-related macular degeneration. If the system succeeds, it could offer a non-surgical option to help improve failing vision.
Hi, Professor. I was hoping to ask you a few questions about the class you're teaching next semester, the course on Polish drama. I was thinking of taking it.
Well, that's an upper division course. You don't look familiar to me. Are you a student in this department?
No, actually, I'm not.
Okay. Have you had other classes in the Slavic languages department here or somewhere else?
No, that's the thing. I was just wondering how good my Polish would have to be, whether the class is taught in Polish or not.
Well, you'd have to have some knowledge of it. By that level, a lot of the students are quite fluent. Plus, there are some native speakers in the department. And we don't plan for it to happen, but it's pretty common for the discussions to kind of move in and out of English and Polish, and it can be difficult to follow. So, how well do you speak Polish?
Not so great. It's just that my father's from there, so I'm interested in learning about, Polish history, Polish culture. Plus, I'm studying drama. I'll probably major in it. I love plays, so I thought your course might be perfect.
To be honest with you, you have to realize that we'll be watching videos of performances and maybe, if we can swing it, even watch a live performance, and those won't necessarily be in translation. Also, texts. Texts are sometimes available in translation, but even then some references will be to the original. I'd hope you'd be fairly confident in reading.
To be honest, it sounds totally over my head.
You know what? I believe they'll be offering a survey course on Polish literature. Let me check here. Yes, I thought it was being offered this time. Professor Jaworski's teaching it. Let's see, it covers the major works, epic romantic poetry, the novels, and it does cover one or two plays.
And this is in English?
Yes, you'll be reading mostly English translations, and the discussions will be in English.
Novels and poetry.
They'll provide you with a great historical context for the plays, so when you do get to them, you're going to really have a feel for the times they lived in, so to speak. Plus, this course might also give you the impetus to learn more Polish, get it to the level where you'd be ready for the other class.
Listening for viewpoints. You will hear a report once. It is about 3 minutes long. Then 6 questions will appear. Choose the best way to answer each question from the drop-down menu.
A thought experiment is a type of experiment that's carried out only in our imagination. These types of experiments help us to consider a hypothesis, theory, or principle for the sake of thinking about its results and consequences. The Swamp Man is one famous thought experiment designed by the American philosopher Donald Davidson. He first introduced it in his 1987 paper titled Knowing One's Own Mind. The experiment goes something like this. Suppose Davidson went out for a walk in the swamp one day and gets hit by lightning and dies as a result. Magically, at the exact same time, in another part of the swamp, the lightning rearranges some molecules into the exact same form of Davidson's body, molecule by molecule. This new being, which he calls the Swamp Man, is identical to Davidson down to the smallest respects. Now, the big question is the Swamp Man really a person? Can the Swamp Man think? Does this being have the same thoughts as Davidson? And does he have the same memories and recognize the same people? There are 2 broad reactions to this thought experiment: the internalist's response and the externalist's response. Let's start with the internalists. This group argues that the Swamp Man will be no different from Davidson. This outcome results from their belief that conscious experience and thoughts are causal conclusions of electrochemical processes that the brain produces, rather than just being their formal representations. In other words, they say that the brain is the seat of the mind, and its physical structure forms and defines the mind. While they do acknowledge the virtual impossibility of an atom-by-atom copy of Davidson, they argue that such a being would be a Davidson, if not the Davidson. Externalists, on the other hand, think that conscious experience is in no way reducible to electrochemical reactions of the brain, and hence neural structure. So basically, what they're saying is that the mind is more than the physical constituents of the brain. Davidson's experiences and causal history are what make him who he is. If you take away all of this causal history, the individual will be left without any causal background of thought and thus any cognizance. Any utterance made by this being will have no meaning. Therefore, not only is the Swamp Man not Davidson, but it cannot even be seen as a human at all.